I'm Struddy. I'm from the Dreadful Tides, and I'm here with my man
Sounds good.
Leland.
How are you guys?
G'day, guys. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
How you doing?
Hi, absolute pleasure. So we're here today because the Dreadful Tides have recently dropped your new single, Fire in the Hole. Now, how's the early reception been for it?
It's been awesome. Like, it has actually really, really surprised us this time how much everyone has just loved the track. You know, the amount of messages we've got off people and the appreciation from so many different people. We've also, managed to get airplay in multiple countries already. This early on for us to sort of start picking up other countries and, getting out that far is pretty awesome. So the reception has been phenomenal.
Oh, so tell us a bit more about the song from a musical point of view and what you were going for with it.
It started off, in all honesty, as just a riff that we were messing around with, and we just said we just need a cool opening track for gigs, not even for recording purposes, just for gigs. So me and Leland kind of messed around with a few things, and the music has stayed pretty solid for that track the whole time. So we were pretty happy with that. We actually had some different lyrics for it originally, except the chorus. The chorus was still the same, the whole Fire in the Hole. And then when Jimmy come on board, he kind of had a bit of a different take on the song and changed the lyrics apart from the chorus. And we were just like, yeah, that's it. That suits the music. So we actually went into the studio to record the song, to use that song in our back pocket as a bit of a, if we need it. And then once we heard it, we were like, yeah, we've got to get this thing out.
Now, she's an absolutely crushing song, guys, but it's a much heavier direction for the band. So was that a conscious effort to go heavier, or did it just sort of happen?
It's really just developed as we've developed as a band. I think the big part about our last, heavy single, which was Foul Play, was that really kind of started defining our sound. It really started to just develop, mine and Struddy's working relationship, where Wes was starting to come on board then. So the sound naturally got a bit heavier. And then Fire in the Hole was just, let's add a bit more to it.
Yeah. And the song also introduces your new vocalist, Jimmy. So introduce us to him. Tell us what he brings to the band. How's he fitting in?
Jimmy is fitting in very well. He's 6'5", so he stands out in any room.
Big boy.
But he's got a great presence about him as well. Like he's just a front man. Like the definition of him is just a front man. He smashes it out every night. But he's another teammate really in the band that it comes to the party with ideas and helps with our songwriting stuff, which has really kind of made it better for us as well, because normally it used to be just me and Leland would do a lot of the writing, but now we've got someone there with an actual frontman point of view, where it's made our lives easier, because I'm a guitar player, Leland's a drummer, so we just work it out together. But he's really jumped in, and I don't know about Lee, but for me it feels like I've known all these guys for 20-30 years, which to me, in my experience in life, when you meet someone that you have that instant connection, that's worth grabbing onto. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, sweet. So aside from being a good backup ruckman, what does he actually bring to the band?
Oh man, Jimmy's just the final piece of the puzzle, really. He brings a very like-minded music sense. And the way he writes real sense, how me and we like to leave a lot of room for the vocal. He's just really good at understanding that he can take that control and run with it and really just add some emotion to the tracks. Besides that, as Struddy said, he's just an awesome dude. He's a heap of fun, and honestly, he's just, the fourth brother come back into the mix, and off we go.
Like, yeah. Now, the press release calls Fire in the Hole your war cry. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, look, I'll say yes, but I also feel that we've got some other stuff in the works that could also be a bit of a war cry as well. But we've messed around with this song for a little bit, and it always seems to be a bit of a crowd pleaser. And I mean, how can you not love it? It's just straight hard rock and roll.
That's right. Now, speaking of other songs and potential future war cries, like you've got more singles planned for June, August, and October, I believe. So, are they similar to Fire in the Hole, or are they a bit different again?
Well, the next 4 tracks were really us coming out and saying who we are, you know, and all the tracks were actually written and the music was recorded before Jimmy originally come on. So we already had these ready to go, and he's really just gone through and added his element on top. The bonus with that is we've had time to develop the songs and make sure that they're right. Next song for us is jumping back on a bit more of a commercial way to go. And we've written it solidly just to make sure we get the radio airplay and really sort of focus the next single there. Our first single was really, you know, Fire is about just introducing Jimmy and making sure, you know, everyone knows who Jimmy is and everyone remembers him. After that, we got some pretty awesome surprises for you, actually.
Nice. Can't wait to hear them. And are they part of a bigger album picture, guys, or are they just standalone singles?
Look, at the moment, we're still working out what we want to do. We think that the tracks all have potential, so I feel that we would like to release each track as a single. Whether at the end of that we put together an EP with a couple of special bonuses, we're not sure just yet. But as Lee said, musically these tracks have been recorded for, I think, April last year, so we've been sitting on them for a little bit. So it's really just a way to introduce Jimmy to everybody, as Lee said. But I think each song deserves their own time. So at the moment, I feel that we're just going to push the singles and then look at maybe doing something a little bit later on after these tracks are kind of out.
Great. So along those lines, guys, like, how would you say that the Dreadful Tides sound has changed or grown from your debut single Crazy in 2021 to this new material you're putting out?
That's a great question because it comes from so many different levels. The biggest thing is we just keep growing closer. You know, the way that we write, we are really looking at the way that our music can speak for itself and the way that we can put it and what we can do. So it just keeps growing. That's the thing. It just keeps growing and getting better and better.
Justin?
Yeah, for me, I feel so the songs like Crazy and stuff like that, a lot of those songs were written kind of before we were, I would say, an actual band. For me, now that we've kind of grown to know each other and know how each other functions and works, you then start writing material that you know that, for example, if I write a guitar riff, I now write a guitar riff that I know Lee, I know how he plays drums, so I know what he's going to want to do. We then throw it to Wes, and Lee and I then know how Wes is going to fill his certain part of the song. So I feel that your writing just naturally adapts as you grow further along in your relationship as a band. And I feel same with Ricky, our producer. He's obviously grown to know us a bit more now, so he knows how we can work in the studio. He knows what works for us and what doesn't. So I feel together as a band and a team with all the people around us, I feel that you just naturally grow closer and it adapts naturally.
Oh. Now, I believe we've got some interstate shows coming up later this year, mate. Have you announced them, or am I jumping the gun?
You're probably getting in a bit early, which is fine. There's a few whispers already getting around. So people have been honoured us. We're going to be starting in April. We're going to July 20. We're going to be going to Adelaide, and then later on in the year we're going to be seeing Brisbane. Try and get through Sydney as well, and then we're going to look at Tassie towards the end of the year, and we're going to get a few announcements out over the next few months.
Very nice, guys. All right, well, thanks very much for your time. It's been a pleasure as always. The single Fire in the Hole is out now, and If you've never heard the Dreadful Tides before, I don't often do this, but they've got the heavy seal of approval. Check them out because it's a fucking great song.